So I just arrived in South Carolina and we are like 2 minutes away from where I'm staying. I'm getting a drink at a Circle K real quick. But I looked and I don't know how I did this, but I'm staying like I think nearer on the property of Carowinds, because as I was pulling in, it said I was 2 minutes away from my destination, and you can see track of coaster. You can see the green lift hill of Fury 325. I'm like, oh, okay, which means I could sleep in extra late, which is good because it's 10 o'clock. There was 3 flash floods and 5 crashes, so I'm tired. The first real and nice hotel I've been in on this whole trip absolutely is getting a shout out. Oh, look at Thunderstriker and there's Fury. So it is a Friday. There was a lot of people at the hotel, probably for this. So if the lines are long enough, I think today would be another day I'd be willing to do a fast lane. Today is going to be another bucket list moment for me. Fury 325 has been something I've wanted to get on ever since hearing that it was a coaster that existed. So very excited for that. I'm also very excited for Copperhead Strike. I hear it's a great 1-2 punch in the park. Devastated to see that Nighthawk is gone because I actually really like the Flying Dutchman models and I would have liked to have experienced it, but that's okay. And lastly, Afterburn. Some people say is one of the best. Some people say it's the top 3 B&M inverts. So we'll see about that today. I think first thing we're gonna wanna do is probably Fury. As always, gotta do cause it's Carowinds, South Carolina, North Carolina. Look at that. 2 states at once. Crazy. Okay, so what I've learned is that South Carolina has Thunderstriker and North Carolina has Fury 325. What's the better side? I'm just kidding. All right, anyways, we're going straight to Fury 325, getting on that bad boy. The crowds look manageable for now, but once we start to see lines, as soon as there's like a hint of more than a struggle, we're booking it to get a pass, because I'm just thinking about it. Woo. Ooh, nice. I'm making a deal here and now. If Fury 325 gets into my top 5, I'm getting merch for it. If Fury 325 is in the top 5 for me, I'm getting merch. This is the deal I'm making with myself right now. Merch. It means that it has to either be, in my opinion, better than Steel Curtain, El Toro, Twisted Timbers, Rage and Bull, or Steel Vengeance, which is my number 1. If Fury 325 can beat this task, which I feel like it could get up to number 4. I don't know if it could beat El Toro, but I feel like it could get up there. But always got to worry about like overhyping an experience. Just like King's Dominion yesterday, we've got a jukebox diner instead of a coasters. Interesting. And this jukebox diner does not appear to have a car in front of it. Again, interesting.
Guess what? Yes, that.
Oh wow. Oh wow, 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 wow. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That ride. That one. Wow. That ride made me rethink my entire top 5. And I don't just mean that it got added to the top 5. It did. What I do mean though is that I rearranged some things and realized I was being a little crazy. It's fast, it's free flowing, you feel like you're flying the whole time. It's so great. You know, I had to get a front and back row. This is a back row ride. I know some people will say front. I disagree. I think it's a back row ride. I think it's a little more intense as a back row ride, which is why I recommend it in the back row. Blown away. Now, elephant in the room, there's no way that that ride could have ever lived up to the high expectations that I and the community have put on top of it. This is something that we, the community as a whole, have done to this ride. And there's nothing we can do about that. There's no going back from it, frankly. But does that deter from the ride? In no way, no means, no how is that a deterrent. So yeah, that's another ride off my bucket list. And now the rest of the day is going to feel meh compared, except maybe Copperhead. But we're going on Carolina Cyclone. I wanted to do Hurler, but Hurler is still testing. Meh. That was hot garbage, yay! Probably the roughest aero looper I think I've ever been on. There's no padding in the seats, it's full plastic. The loops are aggressive and very rattly. Whenever it went up even a little bit, I flew out of my seat sideways, bashed my elbow against the freaking restraints over and over and over again. As soon as I got on, I wanted it to be done. That's a new bottom 10 for sure. Yikes. But now we are getting on the Hurler. Now this ride was originally themed to Wayne's World back when it was Paramount. And this is pretty interesting because yesterday, you might recall, I went to King's Dominion and there they have Twisted Timbers, which was an RMC conversion of the Hurler. So now we're getting to experience what Twisted Timbers originally was, but here at Carowinds. So this mess of wooden straight track is going to be my next enemy, probably, because it's probably gonna suck. Yeah, I guess I'm about to say something kind of controversial, but I actually did not hate that. Now I'm about to say the most controversial thing I think I've ever said in this entire community. I actually kind of liked that. Don't get me wrong, Twisted Timbers is of course a way better, way better experience. And if this got RMC'd, that would be fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot of like dead zones where it's just straight track, but in that moment, it's a really great show of speed, frankly. Not only that, but it's not nearly as rough as I thought it would be. That's actually one of the smoother wooden coasters that I've been on this trip, frankly. So I'm thoroughly surprised by Hurler, and I think that it's actually a pretty great ride here. It's definitely way better than Carolina Cyclone. I think this is actually one of the better wooden coasters that I've been on this trip, and I think that Hurler is overhated and maybe even a little bit underrated. But yeah, who knew? Okay, now we're gonna get on Vortex. Now this I'm looking forward to because I actually like stand-up coasters. So everybody else, you know, you can hate on them and you can shorten those lines for me so I can get a front row experience and a back row experience on Vortex. Love ya. Mwah. The Six Flagsification of Cedar Fair is already happening. Presented by Snickers? Really? Snickers, you want to put your name on Vortex? Crazy, but okay. More for me. Woo. May they never get rid of this one. I know that these old school stand-ups are going the way of the dodo, but honestly, please, Carowinds, leave it here. I know nobody else likes it, but I loved it. I loved it. Don't ever make a floorless conversion. That would be the most boring floorless ride ever. Don't do it. Keep it stand-up. Or if you gotta get rid of it, just get rid of it. But don't convert it. Granted, this is still probably the weakest B&M stand-up that I've been on, considering I've been on Riddler's Revenge, Georgia Scorcher, and Mantis. But it's better than the Togo stand-ups, for sure. That is a lot of fun. I love stand-up coasters. I'm that rare enthusiast that actually really, really enjoys them. So, yeah, this was made for me, and I'm so glad I finally got on it. This was also a bucket list experience for me, because it was this and Green Lantern were the only two B&M stand-ups I still needed to get. Then Green Lantern went away, so this was the last one, and I've got them all in the United States. I don't know if there's any in like another country or not, but I got them all now. Woo! That's a good one. Now we're gonna get on to the mine ride, and then we're gonna see if Copperhead Strike is running, because I hear it's been temperamental. But first, Carolina Gold Rusher. There's gold in them there hills. Wow.
Love the shoot.
Thank you. Not a lot of forces, but that's to be expected. But what it wasn't was also rough. It was incredibly smooth and is honestly one of the better, longer mine rides. 2 lift hills. The drop into the mine shaft is genuinely impressive and a lot of fun. That's great. That's a great starter ride, I feel like. I had a good time. It was a good like 2-minute break from the intense rides before we continue on to Flying Cobra and Copperhead Strike. So yeah, no, a good hidden gem, a good mine ride, and I am not waiting in this line. Not for a boomerang, not today. Boomerangs are always so fun at capacity, and I've been on like enough. I've been on enough for now, and there will be more. So let's skip this one because bug, get away. We've got more rides to ride. Copperhead Striker, Afterburn, Intimidator, and a couple kitty coasters. So yeah, we're doing great for time. The park's been open about 2 hours, and we're probably about halfway there. We're heading to the South Carolina side now. Please be open. Oh, I see something inside of Copperhead Strike. Yes, it's open. Okay, thank God. So they really themed a coaster to moonshine. That's Copperhead Strike. That's what it means. That's what it's about. That's what you do. Moonshine.
Not responsible for items lost or damaged while riding. Now sit back. The use of cameras and cell phones is strictly prohibited.
I'm about to say something controversial again. Somewhat underwhelmed, frankly. Underwhelmed. First off, I got back row, completely the back row, which, you know, should be the best on it, right? And it was a little bit whippy, but it was slow. It was slow, and there weren't a lot of forces. I think that Hydra does the JoJo roll better, and I think that this is the lamest launch I've ever experienced. This is my first mock launch, and I had heard that they're not... Yeah, they're not much, but I'd say they're even less than not much. That was like kind of a letdown, honestly. I expected a little bit more punch, and I don't think at the end of the day that this is even going in my top 3 at the park. I think it's top 5, but it's not top 3, I don't think. I think that I'm going to like Afterburn and Thunder Striker both more, but we will see. This whole Afterburn area is themed so wonderfully. Fantastic. Every flat ride makes sense here. The theming is gorgeous. I cannot wait to get on this one. This is going to be good. I think we're going to do a front row and then wait for back row. I think we can get both. I've also noticed a lot of the stores, the refresh stations, the photo op places, a lot of them are closed. I know that they just like culled a ton of their workers, but that's crazy. Refresh station, I think, is the biggest loss. Those are important. I'm actually hella conflicted on this one, okay? I did front and back, and this is definitely a back row B&M invert. But I was trying to think about where I want to put it in my ranking. In the front row, it's pretty good, it's pretty fast. But the second half, after this part, it slows down pretty drastically, and that's the end of forces other than maybe the corkscrew. However, in the back row, this is an intense whippy machine that's trying to buck you off. I literally, when I hit the Batwing, I really said, just like improvised, oh good heavens, because it really was crazy intense. But that front row ride was just so lacking. So here's where I'm conflicted. I think Talon is a better front row ride, but I think Afterburn is a better back row ride. So where do I put it in my rankings? If I find Talon to be a better ride than Afterburn in the front row, but Afterburn to be a better ride than Talon in the back row, where do I put it? And I think my consensus is that I think Talon's back row experience is better than Afterburn's front row experience, which means that they're right next to each other, but I think Talon's just a little bit better. I think that Talon's second half experience is a better experience, and I think Afterburn just meanders just a little bit. Afterburn's pretty good. I think a little overrated. And now I'm getting on Air Racers, my one flat ride for the day. I do also think I find Afterburn to be a better experience than Copperhead Strike. So if Intimidator is also better than Copperhead Strike, I was correct that it's not a top 3 at the park. And those were pretty fun. I think each plane has its own level of intensity, and I think ours was the most intense. We were flipping like crazy, and then we flipped backwards, and then when it was stopping, we were like still rocking back and forth while the other ones had like basically stopped. Those are cool. I was worried my stomach wasn't gonna be able to handle it, but it did. Now we've only got one ride left to do at the park today, and then the favorite ride at the park we get a re-ride on, and then we're honestly making great time to maybe do fun spot today. If you say anything about the way that I just said today, I'll fight ya. Wow, 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 wow. Because the water is connected to Blue Powerade, if you get the free water here, it kind of tastes a little bit like watered down Blue Powerade. I fully understand what people mean by Trimmer Striker being missed potential, frankly. It looks like it should be such a great layout, but those trims really do just kind of leave you hanging there, especially in the back row. It's boring. Going down can be fun, but every time you go up a hill, you get ruined by those trim breaks, and now next thing you know, you're like crawling up each crescent. It's crazy. It's crest. It's crazy. It's crazy how, like, meh it is. That is probably the worst B&M Hyper. Still the it's still the number 3 in the park. I'd say I liked it less than Afterburn, but more than Copperhead, which, like, Copperhead's whole thing was layout with like a little whippiness in between, and it just wasn't my thing. But Trimmer Striker wasn't really my thing either, frankly. When we stop, we're gonna get on the new Snoopy coaster. Yeah, Snoopy coaster. I want to let y'all know that at this park, they do like the opposite of stapling. They give you a lot of space after they've locked it down, and then you can adjust it yourself, which I really appreciate. It's cute. Like no forces, but it's a launch coaster, so that's cool. Maybe even a more intense launch than Copperhead Strike. But you know, it's still a kid's coaster. But very smooth, well themed, fun. Yeah, nothing to complain about. And with that, we've ridden everything we wanted to. So now let's get on one last ride of the day before we head off to Georgia. I will not be documenting my time in Georgia. I'll maybe do a small short on Air Force One, but there's something else I'm doing in Georgia, but I'm doing it for me. So, I wish water cups were bigger. I understand it's somewhat of an incentive not to like steal, because if you're using the water cup, it's like that's not enough. That even if you did steal, like it wouldn't be enough, right? But at the same time, like if water's free, give me a full damn cup. Oh man, nothing beats water on a hot summer day. I don't care what nobody says. Maybe lemonade, but it just feels so much better for you. They have an exclusive Fury flavor here at both their Ritas and their Dippin' Dots. It's green apple and blue raspberry, and I think I'm gonna have to get one of them before I go, because that sounds good. Okay, so Fury warms up, and it gets better every time you ride it. Because even though I was in the 4th row, I think that was my favorite experience on Fury. But now we're done with Carowinds. Got one more on Fury. Now we gotta head to Georgia. We are nearing the end of this road trip. And on the one hand, I'm like, man, I'm tired. But on the other hand, I'm like, how do I go back to like my normal life and job after this? What a crazy, crazy trip this has been. What a really awesome experience to get to do this. But yeah, Carowinds, I recommend. I think I prefer the North Carolina side a little bit, just because of Fury, and I enjoy Vortex and Gold Rusher. South Carolina is like mostly just has Afterburn, and if you want to enjoy Trimmer Striker, I guess you can, but I don't know what side Copperhead Strike is on. But you know, that's my park. That's my day at the park. It definitely goes Fury 325, no question. Afterburn, Trimmer Striker, and then Copperhead Strike. And then Vortex. Haha, after credit scene, Fury Freeze. How do I, okay. That's good.